Hi, I'm Adam Pott with Rise to Connect, and Merry Christmas! I'm so excited because this time of year I just love all the energy and power that comes with this celebration of life and our Lord Jesus Christ and how we all go out and we try to serve each other so much. I'm so excited about this time of year and love the holidays so much because this is a time to reflect on the years past and to look forward to the future. And today I really want to kind of talk to you about letters to Santa Claus. I was in a Christmas program, or at a Christmas program a few weeks ago, and one of the speakers there pulled up this big PowerPoint with all these letters of Santa Claus from young children. And it was so fun to watch them and the innocence and how these children, they all believed that Santa could bring them these amazing things. You know, they were asking for puppies and kittens and toys and happiness and ponies, you know, all these really fun things. And some of them were quite humorous, of course. That's why he was showing these letters. But it just showed that children have such a different perspective as we do as adults. And these letters to Santa were really telling about what they feel and how they look at the world around them. And it was really fun. And as I reflected on that later, some of these letters, you know, they talked about how they were worried that maybe they did something that they weren't on Santa's good list and that maybe they wouldn't be able to get their presents. So they were kind of making their case for why they should get those presents or why they needed to get these things from Santa. Or they would point out the fact that their brother or sister was bad and they were worse than them, or, you know, kind of pushing, you know, the focus off of what they had done to their other siblings. And it was really funny in that regard. But I started reflecting about that later, and I'm like, you know, as adults, how often do we do that to ourselves? We try to deflect what we want and why we maybe can't get it, right? Sometimes we say, oh, I can't get that promotion because my boss doesn't like me, or I'm not going to get that job because I didn't do well enough on the interview because they're prejudiced towards me in some way, or, you know, maybe I can't go out and exercise because I'm not healthy. Well, you're not going to get healthy unless you start exercising. You know, we always are wanting to push the blame onto somebody else. Another thing that I really thought interesting as I reflected on these letters from Santa is, what if I were to ask or write a letter to Santa? What would I ask for? What would you ask for? If you were to sit down and maybe it's not Santa, maybe it's God, or maybe it's the universe, or whatever that is for you. Maybe if you were to sit down and ask, what would you ask for? If you fully had that childlike intention of believing that you could receive whatever you asked for, what would you ask for? Without pushing the blame onto somebody else, what would you ask for? Would it be greater financial success? Would it be a promotion at your job? Would it be greater happiness or connection with your family and loved ones? What would you ask for? And as I reflected on that, I have lots of goals that I'm going to go into 2018, and I'm going to work on those goals. But I really thought about, what would I ask for if I were to sit down and write out a letter to Santa, if I really focused on what I wanted. And some of the things I thought about is, I want greater health. I think we all want to be healthy. We all want to be able to move and stay healthy and feel good and those types of things. So that's one of my things that I would ask for. Another thing is financial success. I want greater finance to support my family and give them the things that I want to give them. But more importantly, I want a greater connection with those around me, my loved ones, my children, my wife, my extended family. Also with my audience, with you. I want to develop a greater connection with those people around me, wherever I am. That could be at the grocery store, or it could be, you know, at a school function, or whatever, or even at my work. I want to be able to develop greater connection with those people around me. So those are just a few of the things that I thought about, you know, if I were to sit down, and I would urge you, sit down and maybe write down some of those thoughts that you would want. And you can write it out as a letter to Santa, or you can just a letter to yourself or your higher power or the universe, whatever that is to you. But sit down and maybe write some of those thoughts down about what you want coming up in the future. What would you ask for if you fully, intentionally believed that you would get these things? And then kind of ponder about that. Maybe even ponder before you write it down, but just start thinking and writing those things down. Because, 2017 was an amazing year for me, but I've got so many big goals that I want to go for in 2018. And I'm making my list of things that I want to accomplish and things that I want more abundance. I want more love. I want more connection. All these things that I want more of in my life. And so I'm making my list. I'm writing down, every day I think and I ponder about it, and I'm writing in my journal, or if I have a thought come to me, I have a notebook that I carry around, and I write those things down because I want to be able to know that in the future I have goals and dreams that I'm going to go for in 2018. It's so important. So, sit down, spend some time this week, spend great amounts of time with your family and be grateful for the blessings that you have this Christmas season. And then in the next week or so, take some time and reflect. If you were to write a letter to Santa or whoever that is for you, what would you ask for? Write those things down. Because next week, I'm on New Year's Day, I'm going to release another blog post where I want to talk about setting goals. It's a great time to reflect on what you've been able to accomplish and how you want to move forward in your life, the new year. And so I want to write or do a blog about how to set those goals and how to move forward and what to avoid when you're setting those goals. Because there's certain things that you want to avoid when you're setting goals. And you want to be strategic about how you pace yourself for the new year. But we're going to talk about that next year. So this week I just want to leave you with one thing. Merry Christmas. And then reflect on what you want more of in this next year. What are your big goals? What are your big dreams that you want to accomplish? Start thinking about those things. Start writing them down. Write those thoughts down as you ponder and as you think about this last year and the things you were able to accomplish, because everybody accomplished something. We all have accomplishments that we achieved. I was able to do amazing things. I traveled with my wife and my oldest daughter to Europe for the first time. That was awesome. I graduated with my MBA. I ran a half marathon. I ran a Ragnar race, which is a 12-man relay race for 200 miles. I did all these things. I flew around the country. I visited 3 states I'd never been to before. It was an amazing year for me. But man, 2018 is going to be even better. So I'm making my list. Go ahead and make your list. And next week, when I release on New Year's Day, my next post, it's going to be about how to take that list and strategically work towards reaching those goals and those ambitions and having greater abundance, love, joy, happiness, fulfillment, and financial success. If that's what you want, it's important to me. I hope it's important to you. But those are the things we're going to talk about next week. I'm so excited. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope you spend time with your family and you rejuvenate from your work and all your things that you're going through, and just spend some time reflecting and pondering about what you want to go and do in 2018. And next week we'll talk about how to reach those amazing goals and those dreams that you have. So again, I'm Adam Platt from Rise to Connect. Thanks for listening and have a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks.